Recording in progress. Hello, let's see if we are live. Well, we are live. Oh my gosh, it's such an honor to have you here. I'm excited to share this amazing space with you. And for everyone joining us live, also welcome on board to the Love Mastery podcast. And my name is Blangelica, the Love Mastery Mentor. But today I have the pleasure to welcome to you in this space, this amazing woman. And I was just connecting and in another room, and I said, oh my gosh, ladies, if you know anyone that will be interested in coming on board, well, I would love to have you. And this beautiful lady said yes, and I'm so flattered to have you here. So thank you for being here and sharing this space with you. I have the beautiful Alicia Sunstar, the Sophianic, is that correct? Princess, Divine Feminine Leadership Mentor, Grid Architect, and also the Womb Sovereignty Oracle. She is the founder of the Sanctuary of Sophia, a new earth sisterhood devoted in empowering rising oracles, princesses, medicine woman, aren't we all? And the divine feminine leaders. Thank you so much for being here. I
Mm.
just wanted to say welcome and how are you feeling today?
Thank you so much, sister. So excited to weave medicine with you. I know it's been super fun connecting and already feeling the expansion. So I'm excited to see what wants to arrive today to serve our communities as we flow and weave together here in the sacred space.
I love that. Where actually are you located right now at this moment?
Yeah, so I'm in Charleston, South Carolina right now. Yeah.
How's the weather?
It's incredible. Charleston in the spring is my favorite time of year. I'm really excited to be back. It's my first spring back here after being on the road for 2.5, 3 years, traveling around the country. So the jasmine's blooming, and these are really sacred grids here in Charleston. So I'm really enjoying how everything is blooming and yeah, just feeling how alive Gaia Sophia is on these grids right now. It's just been amazing.
Oh, I'm loving that. So I want to say like what is the real you? Because we come into the spaces and a lot of people they know us, they don't know us, maybe they have seen you, but not. But who are you in real life beyond the titles, beyond all of this amazing wisdom that you have?
I just love your authenticity and like you just have such a heart of gold. So I just want to reflect that. Yeah, I mean honestly, like I'm just a woman who's here, who's devoted to serving God and to truly like living my heaven on earth reality and then teaching others how to do the same to really support humanity because obviously humanity is just really going through it in a really deep way and I think a lot of women can relate to seeing people we love, seeing humanity in the purge that is occurring. And I just really desire deeply for holding that like healed whole humanity experience, like seeing that as that and doing whatever I can to do my part. So I'm just like locked in on reclaiming my power and sovereignty and I've devoted my life to it. Just the other day, I was talking to my younger sister, and I was like, most of like everything I do revolves around my mission because it's a lifestyle, right? Your mission, your sacred work, it's a lifestyle. But I was like, sometimes, like, I just like to take little breaks here and there to just enjoy being in my own flow outside of that too. But most of my life is just in the devotional Sophionic flow of really reclaiming my power and doing what I came here to do, truly, and that just weaves through every aspect of my life.
That's a 360. It's like everything around you for you. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Thank you. Thank you for expressing yourself and for letting us know. What does actually, because we all know we start with this amazing self-love. We start embodying more and going deeper within our love within ourselves, right? And expanding. But when it comes to self-love through the womb of sovereignty, what does that self-love through the womb means to you?
Yeah. So when it comes to reclaiming your womb sovereignty and loving yourself through the experience of that, of getting to know your organic womb consciousness, receiving yourself, and actually listening to the voice of your womb. I truly feel that self-love within womb sovereignty is all about consent and holding reverence for the womb because for most women, we're not taught from a young age to listen to our wombs, that the womb is alive, that she has a consciousness, that she has a voice. And we, in many occasions, we self abandon our womb and what our womb is saying, right? Our body. And so we have a really important task when it comes to self love and through the organic ascension process is of giving our womb permission to speak her truth and her voice and honoring that and honoring her sacred no and her sacred yes and being with all the times that we didn't listen to her because we were what I call in the womb amnesia corridor where we're not actually connected to her. And it's about allowing the relationship with our womb to deepen so that way we can truly heal and love every version of us that didn't feel like she had a choice or couldn't ask for what she needed or honor herself or put her pride, put her self-care, prioritize her needs first because of what's happened with this planet and the desecration of the feminine. So I truly feel that one of the most important aspects of this awakening journey for women, of self-love, of healing, of ascension, of however you want to label it, is truly about reclaiming the womb and honoring that voice and no longer giving the power away through the womb to things that aren't supporting organic co-creation.
Yeah, that is so powerful and it's so divinely true. We learned the hard way, right? We come from that state of wounded and not feeling worthy of so many things. And that is so beautiful. And that brings me up to if there's a woman that comes into your world and she feels disconnected and because we all been through it. There's no shame in this world that if you come to someone that is here to serve you. Um, but how can a woman that has been disconnected for such a long period of time, all her life, and now that she wants to reconnect, how would you actually a first introduction, hey, how can you begin to reconnect again?
Yeah, that's such a beautiful question and invitation. Honestly, the first thing is making the decision that you're going to reconnect to that part of yourself and giving yourself permission to do it. Knowing that it's not too late. It's never too late to start to build an organic relationship with your womb. Even if you have had your physical womb removed, you still have an etheric womb and you still have an etheric womb consciousness as part of your light body and your, energetic makeup. And so it's all about the relationship and that happens through patience, presence, devotion, compassion, love, and being willing to listen and to create space. So, whenever a woman comes into my world who's like, I've ignored my womb, I don't have a relationship with my womb consciousness, I'm like, great, you're starting now, and you're going to be able to reconnect in a really beautiful way because you're actually open to it and you're awakening to it. And I actually held a free 3-day womb healing immersion a couple years ago where I had over 100 women join me live. And it's actually free on my YouTube now. And thousands of women have watched it now. And women from like 21 years old to like in their 70s were connecting. And they're like, I've gone through my whole life never being able to connect to my womb. This is the first time I felt my womb. 70-year-old women messaging me. And I feel like it's important to share here because it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter what you've been through. You can make the decision that you're going to reclaim your womb sovereignty, you're going to reconnect to your womb, and you're going to heal her and listen to her and to experience more pleasure of the womb and flow and love. And so it doesn't matter where your journey has taken you, you can decide to start now and start cultivating that relationship, and your whole life will start to transform through the portal that is the sacred womb. Yeah.
And it's so beautiful to see that healing. It could be, and I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh yes, it's easy. No, at times we have to see ourselves in a very vulnerable state. I remember when I had to go through a fallopian tube surgery. So that actually beginning to like I really wanted to have kids and then knowing that I couldn't have kids the regular way. And then back in 2018, I had to have a hysterectomy. And that was very painful. But not only that I had to heal that twice, no, it was more than that. It was a lot more deeper, the pain that I had stored in stagnant energy, that it wasn't until I started working really with my womb that I really had to see myself in a deeper level and allow her to just release all this painful um, circumstances of my life and see myself in a deeper level. Now I'm so connected that I just feel this amazingness, the yeses, the nos. It's like this is exactly what I needed in my life to just feel more safe within myself. And so it's beautiful that you share that because it's so important us as women to reconnect with our bodies. Yes. Oh my God, I'm so excited for this conversation. How does womb healing actually impact the way the woman experiences love in relationships?
Yeah. Well, first, I just really want to honor you and your journey. Thank you for sharing that and honoring the processes that you've gone through. And I can feel how connected you are to your feminine essence, and it's beautiful. So I really want to honor the journey. Thank you, sister. And that's really inspiring also for women to connect to. So yeah, it just brings my heart joy. Yeah. So how does womb healing affect love and relationships? Well, this is really beautiful because this is such a juicy topic. I'm so glad you asked this. So, the thing is, when you start to feel safe with your womb and you and her are vibing and you know what she likes, you know what makes her feel safe, taken care of, you know what is a no for her. If you are coming into a sacred relationship or it's an existing relationship, your dynamic with your partner, especially, is going to really blossom because you're going to be able to invite him into the womb frequency of him respecting your womb as well and connecting with your womb. And she's going to be able to form a relationship with him, which is going to allow him and you to go deeper into your intimacy and love outside of physical connection, but like emotionally, spiritually. When your womb feels safe around your partner, who, regardless of who that is, but when your womb knows, like, I'm safe, she knows she can trust you, right? And she trusts your judgment and she knows you're going to listen to her. So if it's a no, if she's like, no, I'm not interested in connecting, I'm in a process or I'm doing something, she knows you're not going to override that. So she's going to feel safer with you. And then whoever you're co-creating with. And this is goes like even in like sacred union relationship, but also even in like other relationships and sisterhood. Like when your womb knows that you've got her back and you listen to her and you listen to the womb pulse, if somebody's got a red flag or something there that's like, I'm not a safe person, I'm not an emotionally safe person, there's some kind of predatory energy, some parasitic energy, your womb communicates that to you, and you're going to feel that, and you're going to know, it's not safe to share my expression, or I have to be really discerning around that. And so your womb is basically this, this space of connection and direction of your consciousness of knowing what is a reciprocal space for you to co-create with, regardless if that's in like sexual energy or just like basic co-creation.
I love that. I love that. And now talking about relationship, but when it comes to love, for me, it's more of a deeper sense of loving yourself more. That's when you really choose yourself, no matter what you're going through. And I don't care what level of life you are at, what age you are, it's choosing yourself fully and allowing yourself to to bring that essence of totally, completely you. There's no one in this world that exists when you totally choose yourself. And this is how I see it because I had to choose myself at many levels of my life, over and over and over again until I actually devoted my life to completely be fully her. And for the ones that are starting, and I always say this, it's completely choosing. You know exactly when you're ready to choose yourself because you are so tired. You're so tired of forgiving. You're so tired to just continue to give your body, your mind, your soul to other people when in reality you're here to choose yourself over and over again. So one of the things that I worked last year, I was doing expansion. This year, my word of the year was devotion because I devoted from all this expansion and leaving what was not aligned, and we continue to grow, but allowing myself to devote, not even a commitment. I was already committed. It was bringing that devotion and bringing it into life, into my essence, into my everyday since the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep. So to me, it's very important as a woman to always be devoted to herself. And what does it mean to build a business rooted in that devotion of the feminine leadership?
Yeah. Yeah, beautiful sister. Devotion is a lifestyle, right? It's to me, it's a lifestyle where you're in that flow of devotion to everything that you touch, right? And being in, it's almost in a way like ceremony where you are flowing within your life. And in entrepreneurship, when you are here to create an impact, create legacy, to use your voice, your power, your gifts, your medicine, your magic for God's purposes, to create a better world, to support others in the flow of unity consciousness, knowing that you coming into your power as an entrepreneur and being devoted to that, no matter the hardships, right? Because let's be real, entrepreneurship is fucking hard sometimes.
It is fucking hard.
Right. And like, I mean, I have so much to say around this because I've been building Sanctuary of Sophia for the last, I would say, 3.5 years. And the beginning years, especially, I feel could be very challenging because all of your stuff that comes up around your own self-worth, who you think you are, your relationship with money, are you qualified? It's this whole experience that when if you don't go through it, you don't fully understand. And I think, entrepreneurship in the space of the online space, sometimes it can look like all like everything's great all the time. And it's like, yeah, it's great. You get to do a lot, but there's also, you really got to go deep into the shadow, right? And through those moments where you're seeing yourself in the rawness, that's where love and compassion really comes in. And like you said, choosing yourself is so important because if we're leaking energy and we're over giving and depleting, and ask me how I know, because I did this for a really long time, over giving through wounds, through the little girl driving the truck of the journey, right? When she's in the driver's seat. It's like we really have to bring love and compassion in for all of those wounded parts that don't feel worthy enough or have all of these different things, because that comes up with entrepreneurship and but staying devoted to your purpose, knowing that you came here to build something that God has placed on your heart and in your hands, is given you to steward. It's here. You're doing it for an important reason. And when you stay connected to that through devotion, loving yourself through the process is what's going to make it a lot easier. And even loving all the parts that you don't like is really where the rubber meets the road and where the breakthrough happens. So if you don't have a relationship with loving yourself as an entrepreneur, it's going to be a lot harder for you to break through and to go through the initiations that just come with feminine entrepreneurship and leadership, especially if you're leading a collective, if you're leading a lineage, if you're meant to lead leaders who also have mantles and assignments underneath them, which many of us are. then it's even more of an interesting dynamic because of what you're holding space for in your capacity. And as you break through, you elevate your entire community as they, come along with you for the experience that they want to. And how you lead yourself through the lens of devotion and love is absolutely paramount in order to succeed with ease, truly.
We have one of our audience on Facebook. She does have a few questions, but basically, from her starting stages, she's now starting to feel more called in to ask more questions about this type of healing. It's something that she has not experienced before. So she's asking, what are the tools? What do you have to study? Is there a course? But in reality, when you in the first stages, when you are starting, what would you suggest? In my world, I suggest that you start with booking a call with a mentor that could actually allow that start in sessions. And then if you feel called to go and take the study, of course, but because in reality, to connect to your womb, once you have done like more of the clearing, you start connecting with yourself. Well, what would you tell someone that is actually starting in the first stages to how to start either healing or connecting more into her womb?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for bringing this question forward, and to our sister who's bringing it forward as well for everyone listening. So the first thing of like deciding like, okay, I want to start womb healing, know that it's a journey. It doesn't happen overnight, and it's important to go slow and not go too fast. The other thing that I really recommend doing is praying and asking God to guide you to the resources that you need and to the destiny helpers, to the mentors that are going to support you in your process, and then letting that come through. And then if you are vibing with me personally, I mean, there's a lot of women doing womb healing work, and so you're going to be led to who is going to be most supportive for you. So trust in that process of who you're led to. And if you are interested, I have a lot of free womb healing resources that are available on my website. And also, I have this 3-day womb healing immersion that is for like, hey, you're starting out. Because the way that I teach womb healing specifically, I teach etheric womb healing and connecting with womb consciousness. And it's very different from the way a lot of other womb healers work. And so you can connect with that and feel into the experience. It's an experiential thing, right? Womb healing is a felt sensation. And I teach it through the Sophionic body, which is a felt experience of Sophia coming alive as well, and your body, like the Holy Mother, right, arriving to support you. And so you can check that out, feel into it. And then from there, if you want to go deeper with me personally, or if you're led in different directions, connect with the person that you're resonating with and see what they have to offer. I have a self-guided womb healing journey I'm going to be holding this summer for women to connect with their wombs. And I also hold private womb sovereignty journeys for women who want to go deeper. There's all different kinds of ways, but the most important thing is that as you listen to your womb, what is she guiding you to do? And being open to that relationship with source and your womb working together to guide you into the spaces that are really going to help you. But you don't even necessarily need to start working with anyone immediately. Like there's all kinds of resources that you can attune to within your own womb field of just meditating with your womb every day and start building that relationship. And that is something that I teach you in my free immersion on YouTube. Because I think sometimes it's like, where do we start? How do I even build a relationship with my womb consciousness? What does that even mean? Right. And that's what I teach in the immersion, because to me, that's where it starts. Because if you're just like connecting with your womb, but it's like, well, what do I even do? You have to connect with the organic womb consciousness, and that's going to lock you in together, where you're going to start to really weave and co-create through the relationship that you build. And that's what's most important. So that way you can build safety and that open communication with the womb flow. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And they could also find you and connect with you and add you on YouTube. So they could actually get in touch with those amazing resources. As for me, I always go with my intuition. If I've been asked to search on YouTube, search maybe this meditation, maybe to learn more. That's where I go first. And then if I can't actually do the work myself, then I actually look for a mentor. But normally well, at this point I do my work, but I remember in my starting stages, I look for people that already I felt guided by, that I felt comfortable and open enough to be vulnerable with them, because in reality it's a safe space that you have to be in and led by it and guided by. So it's important for me to acknowledge that too, because you want to go where you feel good, where you feel home.
Yes.
And yes, it's
Yeah.
very important. It's very important. And it's so important for me, for people to, when they come to me automatically, I need them to feel comfortable with me, because I am the one that I don't sugarcoat. We're gonna fucking do work. It's not always peace and love. We have to express, we have to be vulnerable. We will cry. I will host it. It's beautiful to see that, because the integration part, it's beautiful too. And now I feel it's beautiful. Before I said, what the fuck am I going through, right? So it's important for me to express this too, because at the beginning stages of a journey, it's always uncomfortable. But once you get advanced and you already have done a lot deeper work, it just becomes a norm that you're ready. Okay, let me take a break, go cry for a little bit, and come back and do more work. I say it with amazing, with laughing, because now at this point in my life, there's nothing I cannot break through. So if I have to take my time to just take a day off and allow myself to be vulnerable, take a day off and allow myself to flow, to connect with my body and feel where is it, because at times you don't even know when there's no emotions will come through. And as an emotional generator, I have learned to feel deeply and allow myself to flow. Now, once you get more integrated into more energetics, you will know how to actually move those emotions through your body, and it will be in less time than what you had to before. So this is for you, my beautiful Rosita. She's been asking this question. So it's always an honor to always answer your questions as well. So you shared that reclaiming, with this amazing entrepreneurship, we all know that entrepreneurship will actually unmask everything we've been hiding for all our lives. And that's amazing. I'm willing to unmask anything in my life. And that's what I'm here for, because I am going to do this work for the rest of my life. And I don't care. I think I'm going to die like over 100 years old, but who knows, right? But till the day I die, I will continue to reclaim my power. I will continue to serve whatever I've been called to serve. Expansion, it's beautiful. The love that you carry within yourself, the more you expand, the more you connect with your body. Everything in my life is freaking so amazing. But that brings your authenticity. That brings also, who are you here to serve? Who are you meant to call into your world? Because not everybody is your cup of tea. Let's be honest with ourselves, right? But when you're in entrepreneurship, I love the fact that you are so worthy of reclaiming your wealth. And a lot of women are still stuck between being the spiritual mentor, being the feminine energetic, the divine masculine, bringing her essence of her whole fullness and wholeness, and allowing herself to be worthy of receiving more and claiming the wealth, because that's also a part that you're here to receive. So when it comes to reclaiming wealth, in the part of reclaiming your power, reclaiming your wealth, a woman in your feminine leadership, how could a woman expand that and not to feel bad about it, and own her power, to be able to just expand and say, hey, I'm here to be a wealthy woman, and I want to say publicly wealthy, well fucked, and happy, and happy forever. It's a 360 of what you are desiring in life.
Mm. Yes, I'm just taking in all of your beautiful codes that you're sharing. And yeah, absolutely. I love all that you're sharing. And I think this is a really important thing. And being in the spiritual community, especially for as long as I have been, I have gone through the gamut when it comes to understanding poverty consciousness. I've been there with $0 in my bank account, living on the road, not knowing how am I going to pay to get to my next destination. And then God sends me a dream client who comes in and there we go, right? It's so much is connected to understanding that you have the power to ask for what you want and believe that God actually does desire for you to be resourced. And I think, especially for spiritual women who, especially if they're doing spiritual work, it takes it even deeper. You know, there's a lot of vows of martyrdom, of poverty, things like that that we've taken that are like embedded there in the subconscious and the psyche that says it's wrong to want money, to desire money, to receive money, to charge for our services. I used to be really in that paradigm, the broke, wounded healer. I've transcended that. It doesn't do me or anyone else any good if I'm not resourced and taken care of. How can I actually serve from a place of overflow? When I'm more resourced, I serve in a more powerful way because I am taken care of. And a big part of reclaiming wealth is acknowledging that you want it and also acknowledging that you are worthy of it. And then working with the parts of you that don't feel worthy, that don't believe it's possible, that have ungodly belief systems that are connected to poverty consciousness and scarcity and lack, which we know is a lie of the fallen matrix. Those are all lies. The true heaven on earth, new earth frequency is abundance. God is limitless, infinite provision. God wants to provide for you. And we just have to break through the programs, especially when we're creating our own wealth through our own businesses, that we can actually make money this way. And God wants to get us that wealth so we can distribute it and circulate it to causes, projects, and experiences that actually need women in their power and sovereignty to be able to hold and steward that wealth with love, devotion, and intention and be fucking unapologetic about wanting to make that kind of money and to actually build. We need women who are willing to say, yes, I'm willing to receive the money. I'm going to be responsible. I'm going to have fun with it. I'm going to be smart with it. I'm going to invest. I'm going to spend. I'm going to save. I'm going to give as much as I can. And I'm not going to be in a space of scarcity. And I know I'm worthy of it. And it's time to like break through the glass ceiling of like, oh, if I'm in this space, like I look more worthy. No, you don't. Like you don't have to be broke. You don't have to be. That's a lie. It's an illusion. It's a part of the oppression of humanity. We need more people, especially women who have good hearts and who want to support others to have money so we can start to break through the illusion and start to bring that frequency of organic abundance and love to people who actually really need it, to people who are struggling as well, and to teach them that they can also create wealth and break out of the illusion. So, yeah, thanks for letting me share that. I'm just really passionate about it, and I just want to help women reclaim their wealth. I'm in the process of it, and I really appreciate you opening that up, sister. Thank you.
No, I love that subject because, we all been judged for stepping into a full power. And I don't give a fuck. I decided that I wanted it all. I desired the life, I desired the relationship, I wanted the partnerships, the clients, the lifestyle, and I continue to evolve and I continue to I'm a 3/6 human design emotional generator. I'm a role model. If they have not seen my growth within the years from when I left corporate, and I don't give a fuck. I'm here to show what's possible because in reality, you're worthy of it all. All of it. You should never be ashamed of taking ownership and loving yourself deeper and say, this is what I desire and this is what I'm going to get. But I'm serving, not of ego. It's because you're worthy of it. So yeah, never be ashamed to claim your power, ladies and gentlemen, because men also too, they also claim men also claim their desired wife. Their men are so right now they're suppressed because they carry so emotions. They have so much control over their life that they can't even be free to express themselves. So it's important for us to own our power so that we could actually allow men to also deliver. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I could talk about this all freaking day, girl. Oh my gosh. But one of the things I wanted to ask you, what is the legacy or impact that you want to create through your work? Because we're here, 2026 is firing us up. We have, I really had to do a lot of deep work in 2025 to now be able to restructure. So, I mean, 2026 with this fire horse energy and this essence that we have of the embodiments that we've been working on for so many years. What is now the impact that you want to create? Because we're celebrating.
Yeah, love the vibe. I'm right there with you, sister. Yeah, the legacy of Sanctuary of Sophia is going to allow women to remember who they are, to reclaim their true identity in Christ Sophia, to deepen into God relationship and organic co-creation outside of the confines of the fallen systems and the agendas, and to allow women to rise into their leadership and their power so they can also create legacy. And recently, God has been revealing to me that a big part of my specific mission of what I'm here to do through Sanctuary of Sophia, which is my temple, is to support women in fulfilling their dreams and their destiny, and to really teach them the principles of how to create what is on their heart, not from ego, right? But from their soul, what they came here to do, to be on this planet, and to allow women to shed all the things that aren't them, the programming, all of that stuff that's not them, because we have big projects and we have really big assignments to support in humanity's evolution. This is the rise of Sophia, of the divine feminine, alongside the divine masculine. Of course, the masculine is rising too. But the legacy of Sanctuary of Sophia is to provide the temple space and the atmosphere and the opportunity to reclaim in a safe way where you're supported and accepted for every version of you as you go through your transformation, because that's what ascension is. That's what we're all going through collectively in the global ascension process. We're all just waking up and remembering, oh, we actually get to be sovereign co-creators and we don't have to participate in any more of this bullshit. We can actually opt out, and I'm here to help women do that so they can carry out their missions, live their destinies and the life of their dreams, and support humanity in their own unique way. And that's what I'm doing.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And I love Sophia Frequency. When I went into Inner Unity, that was my go-to. I had this amazing download and I said, Sophia, it is. That's exactly how it happened. Then I said, okay, this is my new opportunity to step into wholeness and oneness. And it was a beautiful integration in my life. I had the most beautiful emotional vulnerability moment, but it actually wasn't like in painful mode. It was so emotional of happiness that I was integrating the feminine and the masculine because I come from like deep masculine energies, like I own the shit, but now I still own it, but I flow. Now I own it, but then I have a business partner that creates a lot of stuff for me. And I could flow dance. I could do whatever the fuck I want. And it's like, oh my God, thank you, God. Please, more, please. So you get it. You understand. It's so beautiful. But I wanted to share for everyone watching us, where can they find you?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm on Facebook, Alasia Sunstar. I'm on Instagram at Sanctuary of Sophia. And you can also find me on YouTube, which is at Sanctuary of Sophia Sisterhood. And my website is sanctuaryofsophia.com. It's undergoing a makeover right now, so we have some resources on there, but it's going through a glow up process. But you can find everything on those channels. And yeah, I have a lot of free resources and a lot of really beautiful materials to support you in your Sophionic awakening, your healing journey, and yeah, everything that is calling to you through the Sophionic realm.
Oh, I love it. So, everyone, you already heard where you could find this beautiful queen. And also, I always end with this, and I don't know, today it's like, oh my gosh, what am I going to end with? So, I will end with this. In your words, or one word, what the world needs more of.
Spiritual authority.
Ooh, own your shit. Love
Yeah,
you.
yeah. If more people understood their spiritual authority, a lot of bullshit would just dissolve. And that's something that I'm super passionate about, which I didn't understand until I really came home to Christ Sophia of like, oh, actually, I don't have to take any more of this
Yeah.
bullshit oppression. Like I get to actually opt out. And it's through spiritual authority that we can do that. And that actually changes our lives. Like it's not just like a woo-woo thing. Like when you have that spiritual authority, it's connected to your sovereignty as a sovereign spiritual being here, and you can start to like collapse out all of that. And I think if more of humanity had that, we would be in a much different experience. So,
You get to trust it all. Everything is fine. There's nothing. You're creating it every day.
yeah.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm so honored to have you here today. And so love is nothing you chase, guys. It's something that you already are, but in the meantime you become, and allowing yourself to embody, to master who you are and lead and have that spirituality as your guide. You're so intuitive. You're so beautiful to stay in rooms and in places and with people that do not value you, and you're worthy of the life. You're worthy of deeper love. You're worthy of your relationship. You're worthy of your freedom. You're worthy of the money, the wealth, the legacy, the empire. And I'm here creating it all. I'm here. I'm no shame in this world to just create it all. Come to your authenticity, heal those wounds, connect with beautiful woman, let go of the bullshit story, and allow yourself to be in your true essence. You're so worthy of this life. It just feels peaceful. It feels peaceful to let go and to it. And yes, we're gonna become, it's not always peaches and cream, but I am certain that the more work you put into it and the more you go deeper within your love, that you will create the most desirable life. And life has no other choice but to seduce you back. It's no other way around it. So I am so happy to have you here. Thank you for being here today. And I love you guys, and I will see you soon. Bye.
Bye. Mhm.